Hello, my name is Andrew Weymouth, and my project is Mapping Language, Representation of Immigrant Communities in the Pacific Northwest, 1880 to 1930. The work explores the ways in which developing language used to describe immigrant groups reflects labor, industrial, and land development interests which may still influence our perceptions today. The work is both a historical research project and a pedagogical tool that can be used by researchers to form new connections and create original scholarly research. The exhibit was designed to provide visitors with multiple ways into the material, depending on their learning preferences. I would like to demonstrate how a researcher can engage with this tool to form new connections within the work. In this example, the researcher is interested in immigrant groups that were involved in the construction of railways. To begin, let's look at the network visualization, which is a representation of all of the items included in the exhibit within a single frame, color-coded by community and grouped by industry. I have chosen to include the railway industry within the transportation subject, which also includes highway and shipping work. Engaging the industry allows researchers to view only these items, and hovering over the nodes reveals titles of the articles. Clicking on the nodes displays date, creator, a brief description, location, a full text transcript of the document, and the community group if the researcher experiences any level of colorblindness. Scanning this industry, the researcher can glean that this grouping has Italian, Greek, and South Asian representation. If the researcher was as unaware as I was of South Asian labor in the Pacific Northwest at this time, they can copy the object location field to investigate. What we see now is the full record for this item within the data page. Depending on the researcher's learning preferences, they can either read this document within the PDF window or drag their mouse directly over this window to engage text-to-speech software. The researcher can also engage with subject tags directly, which brings me to the Browse page. From here, they can sort items chronologically and identify industry, location, and item format. Returning to the full record, a researcher might want to establish more geographic context for this item and use the View on Map function. Within the map page, as we pull back, we can see 7 records in the area. Engaging with the individual nodes reveals essential metadata for quick surveying. A researcher might be noticing 2 records relating to the Filipino community and also a first name title, which denotes an oral history recording. So let's pop over to transcripts to learn more about Toribio Mariag. The interview can be played in full by engaging this clip, or the researcher can identify specific elements that they would like to skip to by quickly scanning these parsed topics. The color blocks denote specific subjects, such as this item relating to the fishing community and this item relating to Grays Harbor. By engaging with these items, the researcher drops down to this portion of the script and can listen to this element of the audio by clicking on the nearest timestamp. Jumping over to the subjects page, we can see all of the associated communities, industries, and locations that are included in the recordings and quickly scan over the contents. While Mariag appears to be the only person that discusses Grays Harbor, the original search query of transportation reveals more subject information from a Greek community member in Ephrata, Washington, and a Chinese community member in Walla Walla discussing railway work. If the proximity of the Filipino and South Asian immigrants in Grays Harbor sparked a researcher's interest to how they were represented over time, they could use the text mining element. This page utilizes the Voyant application to visualize aggregation of specific words contained in each community's collected media, revealing underlying industrial interests and sentiment via adjectives the media deployed to describe these groups. Hovering over reveals the exact word count, and the researcher can move these bubbles around for readability depending on how the document loads. Additional insights can be gleaned from the term frequency visualization, which breaks down the appearance of these groups in the media by decade and by county of publication. Finally, the researcher can return to the data page to easily export this information in Excel, CSV, or export metadata facets, subject metadata, geographic information, or website source code to encourage future research and data preservation. I hope this has been a comprehensive tour through this resource. Please feel free to reach out with any questions at the contacts listed below.